Before leaving, please remember to make a contribution to all of my thousands of hours of work here. PayPal, Patreon, or fundraiser in the description below or on the China Rising Radio Sinoland article page. Thank you.
The USA is falling apart at the seams and nobody seems to care. The rest of Urangloland is hot on its collapsing heels. This while the Chinese nation is a speeding infrastructure and technology bullet racing into the 22nd century. Pictured above, I'm reporting on the predicted and preventable collapse of one of the USA's greatest post-war scientific achievements, the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico, late last year. Talk about an allegory. Westerners are not paying attention, and it's to their peril and ruin. Here we go. It is sad to see how the West is collapsing. It is the end of empire. Urangloland, NATO, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, and Israel may implode or start World War III tomorrow in a last-ditch paroxysm to survive. Nevertheless, the trend is inevitable. A not-too-distant generation will write a similar epithet as this one for the West. Rome lived upon its principle till ruin stared it in the face. Industry is the only true source of wealth, and there was no industry in Rome. By day, the Ostia road was crowded with carts and muleteers, carrying to the great city the silks and spices of the East, the marble of Asia Minor, the timber of the Atlas, the grain of African Egypt. And the carts brought out nothing but loads of dung. That was their return cargo. Written by in The Martyrdom of Man by Winwood Reade in 1871. This, while Urangloland's carnival-barking three-ring circus vaudeville democracy continues to embarrass itself, and its neoliberal austerity on the 99% continues to lower standards of living expectations with a commiserate and accelerating decline in infrastructure. Uncle Sam knew for 3 years that the Arecibo radio dish telescope in Puerto Rico could be fixed to prevent its collapse, and let it implode. Talk about a modern-day allegory. Not to worry, China has built one bigger and better. The 500-meter aperture spherical telescope, abbreviated FAST, F-A-S-T. U.S. bridges are falling down. Here are the 10 most deadly ones in the last 50 years. Video and audio fans, check the link below to see the article. Even footbridges are going down. There are 45,000 others just like them waiting to kill many more innocents. With them taking on 171.5 million crossings a day, you can bet on many more tragedies. U.S. buildings collapsing? There are 24 pages of them in Wikipedia, although we can remove the Oklahoma City Federal Building bombing false flag and the 9/11 false flag. So make that 22. No, make that 23. There was a building collapse in Miami this summer where almost 100 innocents died. Energy grids. In this 2014 database, over 1,600 power outages were reported in the 15 previous years across the United States. The year 2020's list is long, and there are already pages of them in 2021. Look at the numbers of customers affected and the length of time. Together, just in the last 21 months, millions of Americans went without electricity for hundreds of hours. Some of it is due to severe weather, but it is widely accepted that the U.S. energy grid is not being upgraded and winterized adequately. This was already well known in 2013 that it was a decades-old problem. And how can we forget last year's winter fiasco when millions of Americans went without electricity and water for days, weeks in fact. Hundreds of people died while seeing their utility bills skyrocket. This because U.S. energy suppliers prefer profit over upgrading their grids, so make the 99% pay. Yeah, that's capitalism for you. There is much, much more. Uber establishment magazine Business Insider doesn't hide the truth as they give a damning report on all the infrastructure sectors. Meanwhile, back in Sinoland, the Chinese people are leaving the West in infrastructure and technology dust, something I've reported on extensively over the years, and now maintaining an online database to keep up. I can speak from experience too. Going from China back to the USA is akin to leaping from modern and updated infrastructure and telecommunications to a crumbling second world country. It's shameful, but that's the difference between communist, socialist, anti-imperialist countries, what I abbreviate CSAI countries, and global capitalism. Trump's hoped-for $1.5 trillion infrastructure program was dead in the water since he was expecting the private sector to fund half. Capitalists have reptile brains and can't think beyond next quarter's profits and stock options. Infrastructure is a low-margin, long-term investment that reaps mostly secondary and tertiary socioeconomic rewards. Ditto Biden's much-anticipated infrastructure bill. Lizard brains want double-digit profits, period, and infrastructure can rarely offer that. There are many other signs of Western decline, especially frontrunner USA. Nonetheless, I'll add one more. Longevity. The United States is seeing a rapid drop in life expectancy. This decline has been going on for 4 years now, a sure sign of socioeconomic cancer. China's life expectancy continues to climb and is now the same as the US's 77.3 years. The USA is in the lead, but the rest of the West is hot on its imperial heels. I know because I'm living in France and watching Europe slowly cannibalize the wonderful socialism for the 99% it had for 50 years after World War II. It's like an acid drip. We are being austeritized by the global capitalist trillionaire dictatorship, only 20 years behind the United States. So, break out the popcorn and your favorite fizzy drink to watch the spectacle of your Anglo-land's collapsing empire on one screen, and then on the screen next to it, the dazzling spectacle of communist socialist China rocketing into the 22nd century. This is Jeff J. Brown signing out. Bye-bye.
China Rising Radio Sinoland and China Tech News Flash signing out. Please make a contribution to all of my hard work. Thank you.